Hello everyone, I'm Papagan and welcome to another episode of There's a Place, the show where we quietly and subtly explore mind and personality and location and all that good stuff. I wanted to talk today about video I saw recently. And when I mean video, I don't mean YouTube, guys. I mean like an actual VHS tape. They're super cheap. You can get them at the thrift store for like a quarter, 50 cents, $1. And they have some really great stuff on it. Stuff that was worth $15, $20 in the 1980s. And you can watch it once. It's like even cheaper than renting it would have been. So I'm a big VHS fan. And a tape I got recently was the Super Bowl Shuffle, which is a song that the Chicago Bears, Super Bowl champion, 1985 Chicago Bears, produced for charity, about how they do this dance and also do football. That's the basic premise of the song. So the video is like, the first half is like a behind the scenes thing where they're showing like the football players arrive at the studio and they're like, these poor guys, they're so brain dead from playing football, and they're just like probably not that smart to begin with, but they're like, oh yeah, I like coming out here and, seeing a little taste of show business and, because it's all for charity. Like, they're really happy that the song is for charity, and so you have to sit through like 20 minutes of them talking about how exciting it is, how good it's going to be, and then of course the song is bad. Everyone knows. I hope everyone knows the Super Bowl Shuffle. It's basically football players rapping about how they like to play football, and for some reason, like, not the whole team is on the song, but like 8, 9 guys get a verse, and they're lip syncing, but they can't lip sync because they're brain dead, and it's just kind of a disaster. And every verse ends with, "We're not here to cause no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle." They just want to do this dance, and they got like guys playing saxophone, and it's really bizarre. But I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it, and I went on Amazon right after I watched it and looked it up. That VHS tape was worth like $20. And it's like, why? Why is this so expensive? Why is this tape so expensive? Then I remembered, it is, after all, for charity. So even now, 30 years on, the Chicago Bears are still raising money for charity. Thank you very much, Chicago Bears. I want to get into the interview section of the show, basically the entire show. My guest tonight is a filmmaker. He's a musician. He probably does other creative things. Maybe he even does crafts. I'm going to ask him about that. Here he is, Tom Zarzecki. Hey, is your microphone muted? Boom.
Oops.
That's okay. Well, that would actually be appropriate if your microphone was muted, because you're kind of dressed like a mime. Do you think real mimes, because that's the stereotype about mimes, is the box. Do you think real mimes...
Trapped in a box.
You think they're like, oh yeah, that's beginner mime stuff. Like, that's just... You know what I mean? Do you think they hate the box?
Well, if it is beginner stuff, I don't know. Maybe they all have to go through like a sort of like a psychological maze where they start off being trapped inside of the box, and then they have to find their way out without words. And I guess maybe like talking so softly is just like another extension of that. Once they get, I don't know, climb the rope to letters or something.
Yeah, they do.
So
that one.
yeah.
The one they open the shirt pocket. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're the mime.
I just wanted to paint some stuff with words, I guess.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm trying to stick to like an annual theme with my music instead of being so all over the place. So we're trying to do like some like beatnik mixed with rock and roll, which is completely
beatnik.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, beatniks are cool.
Well, it's interesting because I think I don't know, like today there's all these like different subcultures and stuff, and they're kind of all like, you have a wide array of them. But in terms of like American culture, I think a lot of it just stemmed from the beatnik culture.
Jazz music didn't catch on though.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, it's so diverse and it's still so underground. The thing with beat culture was it was always underground, and then it was exploited in like movies and stuff. Like today, everything's exploited. So the good thing about good jazz, I mean, there's shitty jazz where people just keep like, you know, making the same shit like they do with everything, where you'll just have the same fucking keyboard and they're just playing like the same scales, and it's not really free or liberating or rebellion anymore. But there's still good jazz out there. Free jazz, I don't know. I'm not up to par with a lot of it. There's a lot of like fusions and shit.
Mm-hmm. Latin jazz.
Latin jazz.
Yeah. Oh, do you want some tea? Here, allow me.
Sure, yeah. I was just looking. It looks like a little aquarium.
It's blooming tea.
As long as there's little mutant sea monkeys in there.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I've never had a tea like this before.
You ever have tea with a tea straw?
Tea straw?
Yeah, I didn't know they existed. I was Death Cat was on tour. We were in Seattle, and this girl we were staying with for a second, she made this. It was the best fucking tea I'd ever had, and it had like a little metal straw, and at the bottom it was like a filter to make sure all the like.
Oh yeah.
Pieces of.
I like stuff like that. Wow, I wish I knew how to open this. Here we go. I got it.
Cool. I like the little cups too. Doesn't even look like something somebody would really use.
Oh, in Asia they would use a cup like this. Here, let me give you the first pour. Yeah, put it down. That's the thing. I went to lunch with a Chinese guy. He was a friend of mine, but he was also Chinese, like very Chinese.
Yeah.
And
his name's the guy.
His name's Albert Chang, but he's Chinese, and we ate at just like a Chinese place in San Gabriel, and they bring you tea. You know, they do a Chinese restaurant. So we're just talking about having like a business kind of talk, and he pours he pours my tea first, and then he pours his own. I was like, oh, that's the Chinese way to do it.
Yeah, what's the polite way to do it?
You pour the other person's tea.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that how it's typically done anywhere? Like with
Is
etiquette?
it?
I would think so. You always serve your guests before
Not
yourself.
in America.
Well, maybe not with beer, but even like I don't know. I've seen it happen a lot. You know, if somebody's on a date, usually the person hosting will pour their date's drink first. If it's poison.
They would test it. That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
You know, I see that your nails are painted purple. What do you do during the day that allows you to have purple nails?
I work at a movie theater chain.
And they let you have purple nails?
They do, yeah. They were, a lot of places are kind of sexist about it. They only allow women to, but,
that is sexist.
The rule books here didn't specify, so it was fine, which was good, because I hate having jobs that I don't want, where they make you, you can't do certain things.
Right. Did you want to paint your nails because of the loophole?
The loophole? No, I mean, people always ask me, it's weird, even in Los Angeles.
You always paint your nails?
Yeah, even in Los Angeles, especially like Beverly Hills, people still like, I'll get weird reactions, like people are like, oh, a guy with painted nails, that's weird, but it's like 2015, but my mom and me used to paint, I'd paint my nails with my mom when I was like 3 and 4, and then I kind of didn't for a while until high school again, but it just looks nice.
Do you ever do, I'm so jealous of girls that they can do this. They do the pattern on the nails, and then the thumb is like a different one that's like coordinated with the theme. Like my friend's sister one time had, her fingers were cookies, chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, did you want to eat them?
Thumbs were Cookie Monster.
So
Thumbs were blue.
Was she always overlapping them like they were eating?
Yeah, she could do that. She probably saw it online. You know, she was younger. She was a teenager, so
that's fun.
I'm sure it's all over Tumblr.
Yeah.
The nail Etsy Tumblr. But yeah, I think that's I like the patterns.
They should make them out of edible polish or stuff like that. You ever paint your nails? Or?
Have I ever painted my nails? Yes, I painted my nails. Want some more tea?
Sure, I'll pour it.
Okay,
I just
great.
wanna play with this.
Make sure to unscrew the top. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I painted my nails once. In middle school, I had a Slipknot Halloween costume. So, in the picture I got from Hit Parader magazine. Familiar with Hit Parader?
I don't know what that is.
Hit Parader was like a rock and roll magazine.
Okay.
It started in the 70s with like AC/DC, like Led Zeppelin, like pictures and then posters and stuff. And then by the late 90s, it was like Slipknot, and maybe it had Limp Bizkit in it. Probably not though. Korn,
Oh, the rap
Papa
metal.
Roach. That was the new rock.
Yeah, no,
The new rock alternative.
I remember that stuff. I was a Limp Bizkit fan myself. Although
They
I never got
were
into the rest.
super popular.
He gets some good rhyme schemes and some good throwdown music. A little cheesy looking back in retrospective, but I don't know. I respect them.
He was good at rapping.
Yeah.
You're right on about that.
Some of his stuff with like Wu-Tang Clan still comes on the radio out here.
In Together Now?
What's it?
In Together Now? Who could be the boss?
Well, no.
Stranded in the land of the lost.
It was I don't know. It was something they did back. I think it's from back in the day. I don't know what it's called or how it goes or anything for that matter.
Well, good. I'm glad Fred Durst and his red hat.
Yeah. Well, he's an actor now.
Is he?
Yeah. Population 437. I'm here to promote. I'm Fred Durst's agent.
It's Wes Borland, ladies and gentlemen. Remember him?
No.
Dude, like, painted his face.
What was he in? Limp
It's
Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit, the guitar player.
Yeah, I only went as far as Fred Durst. I only had like 2 other albums, but
But there's a guy in the band that painted his face. You don't remember him? He did
I
it so
guess
he would
not.
stand out.
I know Slipknot did like the masks and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. That was cool.
Were you into stuff like that?
Well, when I was like 12 or 13,
Yeah.
that's what was popular.
What year were you born?
1988.
Okay. So it was like
It's like 2000, 2011.
Yeah. Turn of the century.
Yeah, pre 9/11.
Yeah. What were you doing during 9/11?
Getting ready for school. It was the morning.
Oh yeah, were you out here?
Yeah, I'm from
Okay.
here.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah. So I just had to stay home and like watch it on TV, and that was a bummer. Every channel had 9/11 on. I remember that.
Like, I already saw this shit. God damn it. The one fell down. Okay, well now what's gonna
I
happen?
was like, I get it. This is terrible, but like, even MTV had it on. Had like the CBS feed of it. Every channel had it on.
Do you think it was an inside job?
No, of course not. But the Building 7, the one that burned quickly and like steal it. You know
It is
that.
weird. It is weird watching this stuff, seeing it like it does look like something's like blowing up or there's like little explosions inside. I mean, maybe it was falling. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I give it like a 50-50.
Seems kind of complicated. I don't know. I would say no, just because of how easy it was to pull off. Remember, you used to be able to meet somebody at the gate at the airport.
Yeah, airports suck now.
Yeah, they used to be so much cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it not really.
Is-
It wasn't a big deal before. Even like the passport, like I grew up in like the Detroit area. To go across the bridge to Canada, you didn't need nothing. And then like the last time, like 2007, I left my wallet with my ID all the way in like Montreal, and I had a copy of my birth certificate that said void, void, void all over it, and they almost wouldn't let me over because of the security. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to grow up in Canada.
Well, we're glad you made it back.
Yeah.
Tell me
unfortunately.
about Detroit.
It's a city. It's like a lot of cities in the States. It's being gentrified, exploited. All the people that live there are being pushed out. I loved it because it was very free of a corporate takeover for such a long time. And like the art and the music was really good, although it was a very
Well, except for the
violent.
fact that it was founded by Ford Motor Company or whatever. But
Yeah. My grandfather used to work for Ford. He came over from Germany after the war, and I don't know, like the auto, I don't know. And then I remember when all that shit crashed. I mean, it was always kind of like a shithole. Like when I was alive, like I guess ever since like the riots in the '60s, when like people, like black people, were like sick of all the oppression and stuff. And, like the cops were just like pushing. I've heard some like horror stories from like different perspectives, but I don't know, in order to like kind of have like some liberation, it kind of like, you know, had to have some destruction, and it like did liberate the city, but it also like kind of went into a sinkhole. And then I guess like by the 80s is when it got really bad, and they started like Devil's Night, and like, I don't know, being kind of violent, although nothing really happened to me, but I've had like friends had stuff. But the like, I don't know, the art and the music is really good. And then now it's like last time I went back I was kind of depressed, like even though like I'm a white kid from the suburbs too, but like it just like I don't know, everything's like changing, and it seems like less sincere, less good. I don't know, or maybe I'm just getting old and I don't like change.
Sure.
But it's like
Maybe
it's
it's a
changing.
combination.
The thing that pissed me off was like they took a vote. They're like, should we bring this guy in, this emergency manager? And everybody said no, and they did it anyway, which was like, you know, super unconstitutional. And then I don't know, a lot of people are just like, yeah, we're just all gonna get pushed out because we don't have any money, because the prices of everything are going up. Like everything was dirt cheap. People came from outside the city, outside the state, even outside the country, and started buying everything up. But it's still beautiful, like all the architecture, the old architecture with the overgrown like weeds and trees and stuff. I don't know, it's like untouched. Well, minus all the graffiti, which is art too. I don't know. I love Detroit, but it's like you have to like leave it if you want to do anything. Because even like the people there, like if you live there, it's like it's hard to find work. You have to like go outside the city to work.
Did you ever go to Motown?
To what?
Hitsville, USA.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
Yeah. It's like a big house.
Right.
And they have my favorite part was because like I like the Temptations probably the most out of like all the Motown stuff. I remember seeing their suits and just be like, holy shit, those motherfuckers were tall.
They're similar looking suits.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
It's
Yeah.
been a while.
I hate when people, there's like something famous in their town and they've never been to it.
Yeah.
Do you ever encounter people like that?
I have a friend that lives here. He's like, I've never been to any of the tourist bullshit, and I've lived here my whole life, which is kind of cool, but it's like, come on, you gotta check it out.
Yeah, come
like
on.
Ripley's, believe it or not, come on.
Yeah, why wouldn't you go
Weird
there?
shit.
Has he been to Ripley's in like Orlando? That would be funny.
What's that?
If you like, yeah, I've only been to the one in Orlando.
That would be
I
fun.
only do it when I'm on vacation. I don't want to spoil myself at home,
Yeah.
seeing too many different wax museums.
Keep focused and stressed.
Oh,
This is a cool place. It's very,
thank you. This is the park.
yeah.
I play baseball. You ever do any
Need a little
sports?
breeze. I'm not really an athlete, but my mom used to make it.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
My mom used to force me to do a sport every year, but she'd let me pick. So I mostly did like basketball and softball, which was cool. I just sucked at them. I used to play basketball a lot, but I always sucked at it.
At what point in the picking the sports every year did you know that like, wow, I'm not good at sports. I'm not cut out for this. I wish I didn't have to be here.
I think I knew that before, just from gym class. Like, this shit sucks. Like, I don't want to put on these stupid clothes and fucking run around. It was mostly just because, like, one of my friends was, like, a complete asshole. Like, anybody that sucked, he'd give you such a fucking hard time. And, like, I don't know. They just made it not fun. Like, it'd be fun. And then, you know, just the, like, athletic kids that were real serious would be, like, too serious about it. And, like, this isn't fun anymore. Like, fuck this. I'm gonna go run around and pretend like we're Martians and leprechauns or something. I don't know.
That would be fun.
Draw.
I wish there was a PE thing like that.
PE where it's like mixed with like theater or something, like capture the flag, but it's like capture the alien. Send back to Mexico.
That's I don't like that sentiment.
What's it?
I don't like that sentiment.
It's cinnamon. I like this.
I love cinnamon.
You hate cinnamon?
No, I do like
What's wrong
cinnamon.
with cinnamon? Are you racist?
Spicest.
Yeah. I'm only spices against one race, and that's the human race.
Okay.
Because we're all responsible.
Speciest.
I just noticed that cat clock.
Yeah, you like cats, huh?
Yeah, it's weird that they'd have a clock like that in the park on that tree, but
Well, we're in the parking lot now.
yeah, but I'm looking over at the park.
Oh, the park across the street, sure.
Wasn't your car over there though a minute ago?
Yes. Yeah, did I shoot this one? That is my car, I think, No, my car... I think I shot this one. This is the,
So where are we?
I believe this is the Eagle Rock Mall.
The U-Rock Mall?
Eagle Rock Mall.
Eagle Rock Mall, okay.
The one that has, like... It has a Target in it, and then, like, it's one of these malls
A mall
where...
with a Target, what?
That's Target is like the new
everywhere.
department store. But you know those malls that like none of the stores in it they have at any other malls? There's like no chain stores in the mall.
Did they? Yeah, the really gritty ones. Yeah.
The Fox Hills
kinda
Mall.
like
No. The Baldwin Park Mall. Baldwin Hills Mall.
Yeah, they're all the malls out here. Like the main ones are like Westfield or something, aren't they?
Westfield is worldwide.
Yeah.
Does that bum you out?
Kind of, yeah. Like it's, I don't know. That's the funny thing is like, there should be a cap on like business, but there should be because I don't know, everybody else loses their business as a result.
Yeah, I miss those mom and pop malls.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of cool ones. Like growing up, they're all gone.
There's in Hawthorne, there's a mall that everyone calls the abandoned mall because it's closed.
Yeah.
But it's not abandoned because it's in the middle of town and people are always going there to do graffiti.
Yeah.
That's not abandoned.
Well, it's abandoned because it's not.
No,
It's
it's
vacant, but you-
vacant mall. It's a closed
vacant.
mall.
You have to break into it to get into it, though.
But it's easy. Everyone does it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And-
yeah, I guess it's not abandoned if people are still
And
attending.
there's a social security office in the newer part of it. They're still using it
Oh, so
as
yeah,
an
it's-
SSI place.
So it's still active somewhat. They're probably gonna demolish it and do something other shit with it, though.
That's expensive. I don't know. I think they should just make it a whole mall for government services.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing about LA is like nothing really gets demolished or goes to complete shit. There's so much booming here. Somebody's gonna like grab a hold and turn it into some other good or yam thing. I don't know.
That's an interesting noise. What did that mean?
I don't know. It coincided with whatever that computer sound was too. Maybe I don't know. Feeling of being underwater with all these.
Oh yeah, well now we're in the
games.
basement. I definitely didn't shoot these, but this is the bottom level of the Eagle Rock Mall. They have an Asian grocery store in this mall. Do you like Asian grocery stores? With all the live seafood in the back?
Definitely not.
You're a vegan or something, you said, right?
Yeah. I definitely do not support that.
That's like a aquarium. It's like a touch tank.
It's like
And a
It's
restaurant,
like
a store.
meet your food before you kill it, or just swallow it whole, which some dishes are. Yeah, I don't know. I never got too into Asian cuisine. Like I don't know. I obviously eat noodles because I have to if I'm not eating fish.
What do you eat day in, day out as a vegan?
Being a broke vegan, which is different. If I had money, I'd probably eat much better. But I don't know. I make a lot of like pizzas and pastas. I've always loved like Italian food. You know, just everything that's not meat or dairy, fruit, vegetables, grains, bread, noodles. I don't know, nuts.
Nuts and noodles.
What's that? Nuts and minerals.
Nuts and noodles.
Nuts and noodles. You go nuts for noodles.
I like alliterations.
Alliterations? Yeah.
Do you?
I don't even know what alliteration is.
It's like a phrase where all the words start the same letter.
They're the same.
Yeah, like
Like you start a sentence, what you
like
end it.
no, like Tom's Tavern.
Oh, like double consonants, like telepathic
But I could-
telephones, or John
Tom's
Waters used to
telepathic
call
telephone
it.
from
Adam,
Tallahassee, Tennessee.
Yeah. Adam's agitated ankle, or I hope your ankle's not agitated.
No, it's not. It feels great, but that's a cool alliteration.
I don't know.
I don't want you to get bogged
Delicious
down
and
thinking about alliterations.
What's that?
I don't want you to get bogged down thinking about alliterations.
No, I just noticed sometimes, which it's horrible as a performer to, like, it's like when you're on the spot, you gotta be quick like that. So,
Yeah, that's
So
true.
usually have to get in my own zone, but like when I write, I don't know. I actually am fond of alliterations too. I didn't know that's what they were called. I was actually looking for what they were called like maybe 2 months ago. I'm like, what is it called? Because like I'll use a lot of them, like with names and stuff.
The great future. Did you ever, talking about being on the spot, did you ever see a situation where it's in like a group situation where not all people know each other super well, but someone kind of like freaks out in public, and it's like kind of funny to watch because they're like squirming and being weird, and everyone else is like, no, it's cool. Like, why are you so mad?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of different renditions of that. Usually, when I see it in public, it's like people that are just like, they're frustrated. They go to anger. They go directly to anger, so they start their squirming or whatever. Sometimes, I mean, it's always just anxiety though. When that happens, you get anxious, so you start reaching adjectives to describe things. I don't know, or you're just like, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. It's like you are outside. Calm down. Breathe.
I think it's funny when people freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we freak out?
No.
Low voice. Oh, we're supposed to be calm. And
It's cool, man.
That's probably why I'm like not. I'm usually operating in like a much like I need the chaos. So to be calm and thinking is strange.
Thinking is strange.
Not thinking, but it's like harder for me to think at a slower pace. But although it's probably a better thing because then your thoughts are typically more thought out.
But your first instinct is the best one. At the quick.
Oh yeah,
you're wasting time thinking slow.
Wasting time. We're never wasting time. We're always squirming through what we gotta squirm with to see what we can learn, so we can cope with dealing with whatever we're trying to, I don't know, articulate, even if it is complete nonsense, as long as it's absolutely fun and ridiculous, or sometimes even when it's not, because you still learn something, or maybe not. I don't know. Or maybe these words are just all filler. I don't know.
Wow, you're such a beatnik, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, man, I was trying to research. I don't know why I felt like I had to like get into the element. I guess just for like the concept of the album, Dodo Bird to Eyeball. So I was just like, maybe I don't know that much about beatniks or whatever. So I was like watching clips from like the exploitation films, and it was like I didn't know what was real and what wasn't. I'm like, this is just gonna confuse me. Like, I'm pretty sure I know the gist of it, but like, I think it was this movie, Teenagers or something. This girl's it's called like, I want to do a beatnik poem or something, and she goes up and she's just like, a lot of like, something this about society, man, and then they like hit the piano. It's kind of like early rap.
Yeah.
It was cool though. It's just a little cheesy, but I guess everything that becomes predated is a little cheesy because it's like, well, I already know this. It's 50 years old. It's 40 years old. It's 20 years old. It's, that's so last week. I'm so much smarter now that somebody told me that.
If you want to get way into the beatnik thing, the quintessential beatnik.
Like,
well, does the name Maynard G. Krebs mean anything to you?
No, I'm not.
Dude,
I'm not really
he's the original beatnik.
He's what?
There's a show in the 50s called The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, and his friend on the show was a beatnik played by Bob Denver, who was Gilligan on Gilligan's Island.
Okay, yeah, I know about.
And he said things like cool and daddy. Like, he's like the pop culture beatnik that you see later. It's him. Maynard G. Krebs. He would help he was like a side character, and he would like help his like friend date.
No, he's like the cool guy that knew, like, you gotta be smart, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to like build a cliche, but like it's just like working in extremes, like the visuals or whatever. It's supposed to be like a modern take, but I don't know. It sounds fun though. It's more like about exploration, I think. I don't know.
You're exploring being a beatnik?
Linguistic. Not exploring being a beatnik, just like throwing it back to that, like, there's a lot of people. It's focusing on like people, like a modern. I guess like beatnik has nothing to do with it other than like the aesthetic and like there was I like to keep things raw. Just like anybody today that's on their quest or seeking, whether they know why or not, like like art, you always got to like reach for like what's unknown, and like think like even Albert Einstein said like beyond like knowing everything and like all the formulas, like it becomes, once you get to what's unexplainable, that's like really when you get to like the creative side. So I think that's why like people who like dabble in like creatives, like experimental things, it's more it's part of that like seeking, which is kind of like a philosophy or something.
Are you a spiritual seeker?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all are, whether we know it or not. Like, it's like
you can get past it. I'm talking about someone who like is actively looking.
Well, I'm not looking anymore. I used to like I was raised Lutheran, which fucked, you know, a lot of religions will fuck people up. Like I went through like all these phases or whatever. And, like I was total atheist, and then I was like a nihilist that like practiced like chaos magic. And like I was really against like the idea of like karma and stuff. And then
What is chaos magic?
Chaos magic is like it's like with like sigils and stuff, or just like your own practice with bringing focus and like throwing things into your subconscious and unconscious to like you know, manifest certain things. So like you bring it to your attention and then you forget about it. And like the most popular thing is like with sigils, where it's like you'll write out something, an intent, and then you like get rid of like all the vowels or repeating numbers, and you kind of form it into a symbol, and you like alter it until you don't even really know what it is anymore, and then you like kind of like put energy into it, and then it manifests.
Interesting. Is that like magic with a K?
Yeah, like a CK. I mean,
yeah, and then there's MAGIK.
Yeah, I mean
that's like sexual magic. Do you know like that stuff? Like the magic. Parsons.
Well, everything. I'm not too familiar with that. No. I mean, like everything you do like causes like a reaction or chain reaction. So like what magic is essentially just having like a direct intent, but it's something that's outside of you know, the simplicity of like I'm gonna like drop this or put this here. Like that's physical. It's like doing that stuff without. But I guess like deeper or like with more like reason or like the drive, like what I was saying about everybody being on like a spiritual quest is like whatever we're trying to do or like bring satisfaction or balance. It's like we're trying to feed that and like balance that and understand that. So in a sense, it's like what we're trying to get to is like a state of I guess like perfection or balance or something, but also like, you know, we're so influenced by everything and like deluded that we kind of like get tied up in like these like illusions or other things. And because I'm not, you know, a lot of like illusions are like enjoyable and fun, but I don't know. But like now I practice it's called Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism, which like kind of like I was like at this point like I went through a lot of weird stuff. Like I used to be like a fuckhead, like a fucking asshole. Like I wanted to do horrible things, and then like I had some weird stuff happen, and then I was like, okay, like if I do shitty things come back around. Just like that simple, what you put out there comes back around.
What do you think about you bring about?
What's that?
What do you think about you bring about?
Yeah, exactly. You totally manifest it. And I used to be so against that because I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's some like hocus pocus bullshit. But like,
you reap what you sow.
Yeah, you definitely do. And it ricochets throughout like the whole fucking, you know, you do, like even if it's like a thought, it like ricochets, but even if it's a, you know, obviously if it's an action, you know, it'll affect the people in the room or the people you surround yourself with, and then that in turn, however slight, affects their mood, and it goes on and on. And so, I don't know, now I'm just trying to like eradicate like all the negativity to that like keeps you, I guess, like enslaved to yourself in a negative way.
Do you think negativity is the problem?
Well, in this world, in this dimension, on this planet,
the Earth,
we have to have, the Earth, planet Earth. I guess that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
You need it to sustain, like, you know, it's contrast. Like, we're third-dimensional beings. We can't really see third dimension. Like we say, everything we see is like kind of like, I mean, we see it in 3D, but like we can only really grasp it as like 2D because you can't see behind shit. Mm-hmm. But anyways, like everything's here, I think, is essentially just light and dark, and then it works in like triads and patterns, and we like build, and that's how things get more complex. And like, so you need you need negativity, like even in forming sentences and words, like if you want to like break it down, like it's just like even slight like there's certain sounds that just like resonate different.
Stop consonants.
Stop consonants.
Like the cuh sound.
Just like all the
Yeah.
I love the way that shit sounds. Like the Russian language is kind of like, I don't speak Russian, but I think it's fucking beautiful. But like it's very you can even tell like in the culture, like it's a more harsh. I don't want to say brutal, but it's more aggressive culture than like speaking French or something. And it's like
French is romantic.
yeah, it's very like suave and like has like that flow. So like people are like more like laid back versus being more aggressive and like to the point. But like regardless of the language, everything's made up of negative and positive. It's just using those in accordance to a larger picture. And sometimes you have to go through the negative, obviously, to get to something better. Or sometimes you get hooked in the negative and you're like in that cycle and you enjoy it for a while until it like burns itself out and you're like, oh, I just threw myself in a hole. Oh well.
But there's more negativity than positivity. So how do you
In general?
So how do you keep positive above it all when there's so many bad things trying to
do-
take you down all the time?
How do I? Well, I chant.
Or how does one?
How does one?
How do you actually? That's probably more.
I chant
telling.
like I've always had like a hard time like dealing with stuff. I don't know if I'd say there's more negative. It definitely feels like there's more negative.
There
maybe
is. I'll tell you why. Because if there was the same amount, then we wouldn't notice a
It'd be
difference.
completely neutral.
Yeah,
Well, it'd have to be in balance though. That's the thing. You have to balance the negative and the positive. But shit gets so messed. I guess it is.
But
crazy
negative
negative.
things are more noticeable. They're like, your instinct is always to think of something bad. Like there's just more negativity. That's how like biologically we think negatively. So there's obviously more negativity, but positivity is something to combat it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about that. Like, I feel like. So you typically like you naturally, even when there's good stuff happening, do you naturally go to like focus on like the negative?
No, I've trained myself to be positive.
That's good.
You could train yourself to do it. But
Yeah.
in general, I would think people would be like, oh, I'm going to be late, or I'm like, whatever, like stressed out or worried about things that can happen to them, that can't happen, that aren't likely, but like might happen to them.
Well, yeah, worrying. I mean, essentially, I think it's like for like protection or
They
whatever. It's like you
remember
wanna go-
bad thing that happens to you, you remember forever, you hold a grudge.
Oh yeah, it's being conditioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes it's like you're, because you want it to be overall positive. Like I'll know. Well, I guess just for myself personally, like I'll like think of like what's wrong or whatever, because it's like, well, now I have to work on this to fix this. But if you're like always doing that, I guess it's like no good unless you're actually gonna like, you gotta know when to embrace the fun stuff too, I guess.
How do you know that?
How do I know what?
How do you know when to do that?
Well, just when you're getting too stressed out and you realize there's nothing you can do at that moment other than just like let it be or do something else or like try to resolve it.
So tell me about well, we met each other at the Hammer Museum open screening.
Yeah.
You had a stop motion. It was stop motion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean yourself.
Potato Asylum.
Right, and it had the message was like pro-vegetarian. Am I right?
No,
No,
that was
I'm trying to remember. There was a message to it.
not really.
You don't think so?
If there was, it wasn't. Most of the art, I wasn't really ever trying to have like a.
Because the potato was like doomed at the end, right? Or it was a cliffhanger.
It was unfinished.
Yeah, but you were trying to say something with it.
Well, no, I wrote that before I still ate meat when I came up with it. I came up with that. I lived in Chicago, and me and my friend were like tripping on acid and 2CE, and we had just watched like, not then, but we had previously watched some like old cartoon with like potatoes, and we are just like comparing our lives, like making up stuff, and I was like, we should just do like a stop motion or animated potato, like one's a drug addict and the other's a psychopath, because that's what we thought we were at the times. And
Which one were you?
I was a psychopath. I used to really want to kill people. Like, I hated people so badly. Like, I wanted to, like, use art to, like, just annihilate the human race. But now I'm the complete opposite. And he was this, we were on the same page. We were really fucked up back then, but we're not. We don't really talk anymore, but we've figured it out a little bit more since then.
That's good. You don't want to kill me or anybody else here?
No. Even when there are people, I feel like
even with art,
you're just gonna kill. You're just killing yourself in the long run. You know, it comes back around eventually, in some form or some life, in some way, because it just ricochets all the way through. And it's not. You don't really want to kill people. You're just agitated and frustrated because you're not getting your way or something, or you're feeding yourself into the loop because everyone's just an extension of the self anyway. But yeah, that was just like an idea that popped up when we were like freaking out on the subway. That's actually what I thought of when you said you mentioned like people like flipping out. Like I remember we were like flipping out because we thought we were gonna die or something.
Because you were on acid, or because the subway was dangerous?
It was the 2CE. It was we had done acid before, but like I don't know why I always talk about this shit. But
powerful.
So we were supposed to like take mushrooms and acid, and we got to this girl's apartment, and she didn't have any mushrooms. She's like, no, but I have these pills. And I used to be like, I would never take anything unless I knew everything about it. And I was just like, okay. So we just fucking popped this shit. And I guess it's like a highly experimental, like research chemical from like some European, I don't know, Sweden or some country with an S. And then we went out. First we're like, we can't go outside, we're gonna murder everyone. And then we like go outside and we're like afraid that we're gonna get murdered or something, and everything's like RoboCop in 3D. And no, I thought we were gonna die because I was like, we need to stay hydrated. And we were on the subway, we're underground, cut off from all like natural life. And it's like getting hotter, darker, and my heart's beating faster and faster, and I'm sweating. I'm like, this reminds me of like Doom when you're like about to die. I think I'm about to die, so I'd like flip out, we'd like get up and chug water, and it became psychological. And that was kind of an existential moment, because then I was like, oh, we're fucking part of the earth, and we're just these energy things bouncing back and forth, and yada, yada, yada. But that's where the potato thing came from.
2C, am I right?
2C, yeah.
That's, other than your music, Death Cat.
Yeah, it's my core.
Because you're into cats, you pointed out the cat clock.
Yeah, I haven't had a cat in a long time, and I really want to get one, but I feel like really irresponsible. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be like living in an apartment next month or what, but I don't know. I just grew up around cats. My grandparents always had like a shit ton of cats roaming around. I don't know. I just like cats. They're chill. They play when they want to play. They're not like, I like dogs too, but you know, dogs are always like,
but you're kind of fixated on cats.
Give me attention. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like too obsessed. Like, I don't really own a cat right now, so I'm not like.
But you're talking about not owning a cat, which is a little strange.
Okay. Well, I just pointed out. I mean, it's purple.
But
too,
you're
which is
like,
my favorite
I
color.
wish I could own a cat right now.
I
like,
do. I want to get a kitten so bad, or even a full-grown cat. I don't know.
Right. I've never thought that before.
That you wanted a cat?
Well, never like, I wish I could get one. Like, it's always just, I just had, like, never had a say in the matter. I wouldn't kill one or another.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like the way you're like longing for it shows that you think about it maybe more than the average person.
Maybe. I don't know.
I gotta get that cat, man.
Well, I don't know. There's enough cats. A lot of my friends have cats, and I'm just like,
there's enough around.
Like, oh, I don't have to feed them or clean up their shit, so.
Yeah, you get the best of.
Yeah.
The best of the cat.
You own any pets?
Yeah, my roommate has a cat. Well, like, I live there too, so I guess it's my cat. I feed the cat. But, you know, if I didn't live there, that would be the end of the relationship with the cat.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But the cat is a Siamese cat. She's very good looking,
Yeah.
but she has bad personality.
Oh, yeah, they're
Like a lot of people.
Siamese cats are interesting.
But she's really good looking. But looks aren't everything.
Well, yeah.
Also, I've never seen I mean, you could be like,
All
well, I
cats
saw
are
one
cute.
cat, but a cat is a cat. I don't care how it looks. Be it tabby
Well, yeah,
or black cat.
all cats are cute. It's just, yeah, it's like, what kind of cat do you want? Do you want a cat that's really affectionate? Do you want a cat that's super chill? Do you want one that's like prissy? Like, I don't know.
Well, I definitely don't want that's.
Independent.
arrogant about its good looks.
Yeah, and Siamese ones are kind of like that.
It's a really good looking cat, though. I gotta give it to her. She's got it going on.
You gotta let her know.
I'm just saying, you give credit where it's due.
Just get her a mirror with like a string in front of it. Egos. That's probably why I like cats.
Stroke the ego.
If you could own one pet, what would you own?
Well, I mean, I guess a dog would be the most practical, or cat, but kangaroo. If I had some kind of big, expanse, I was thinking, I've actually thought about this, because when I went to Australia, I met some kangaroos at a thing that have been domesticated, so they just lay around. They're really cool. Like, they lay like this with, like, the tail out.
Yeah, like they're lounging on the beach, right?
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, wow, this would be cool if this had, like, a couch to sit on. I bet he would really like the couch. I bet that would be comfortable for him. Like, wild ones are different. But if I could get Nevada, you could probably do this. Like, a bunch of land for cheap in Nevada and have, like, a bunch of Australian animals out there.
That'd be cool.
That just laid around.
Just chilling, just a resort for them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, fuck
and
yeah.
When they move slowly, they don't hop. They use their front legs to kind of like
They're
guide
just
them.
stoned all the time.
Yeah. And then the koalas at this particular zoo was the only part in Australia you could do this. You could hold the koalas, but koalas are like awake for like 15 minutes a day.
Oh, really?
And so this is like out in the bright sun, and the zookeeper's is like, wake up, here. And everyone just has to like hold the koala.
Did they hold on to you like a tree? Like
Kind of, yeah. It felt like holding a stuffed animal.
My girlfriend was talking about holding a koala the other day. I mean, she's never done it, but she's just like, that's like, was it amazing? Was it like,
yeah, it was cool.
All koala wants to
and
hug you. And
they take a picture of you when you're like holding it there.
Yeah.
Koala it doesn't know any better. It's out of it.
It's just like, I'm trying to fucking sleep. I guess
It's
I'll sleep
so
on you
tired. Well, whatever.
When are they nocturnal?
Yes.
Gotta go there.
So they have them in shifts.
Oh God.
They it's just rough.
Wake up! We got this cycle going.
The thing that is so strange about this place too, besides that it's the only place, probably in the civilized world, where you can hold a koala. I'm sure in Saudi Arabia or something you can do it, Dubai. But if you're in a band, that's how I was on tour in Australia, so that's how I do it, or any kind of celebrity, and I'm talking any band or any celebrity, you can go for free.
Oh, really?
To meet the koalas. So in the gift shop, there's like a picture of like Newfound Glory and
Just anybody that showed up.
like the Pope, Celine Dion, literally any single person who's ever been to Brisbane, Australia can go.
That's funny.
Who's like American. If you're like an American celebrity.
That's cool.
What's
your band?
I was in the David Liebehart band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was the big highlight, was going to Australia. Except I didn't really like Australia very much.
Yeah, it doesn't. I used to think it was cool because of Mad Max, but I'm not really interested anymore.
It's the same as America, but it has less things.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would I want that?
A bunch of white people in the desert.
Everything there is like San Diego. It's like San Diego, the country.
Yeah. I don't know. I know some cool people from Australia. The accents are always cool.
It's fine,
How do
whatever.
you feel about
but
Vegemite?
I like the way it tastes.
Oh, yeah.
Also, banana milk. I liked some of the food was bland. The worst thing there was at Subway there, they have the seafood sandwich, which is like my favorite thing at Subway, the seafood and crab. It's like made of imitation crab and mayonnaise. It's really gross. But the best part is that with the yellow mustard. But in Australia, they don't have yellow mustard. They only have honey mustard. So it didn't even taste like what I was hoping. And I was just like, man, this country sucks. That was when I knew.
That's what put you off.
All I wanted was mayonnaise and yellow mustard and imitation crab. Taste of home.
Yeah. They're like, sorry, this ain't home.
Nope. Sorry, mate. Hey.
I might look like going up, turn around, go right back. Well, you can't take the kangaroos or the dingoes with you, or koala bears.
I ate some kangaroo meat. That was cool. It didn't taste good, though. But yeah, I would want to
Get
have...
you hopping?
It was. I was hopped up. Let's go do the hop. I hop. Hofbrau. Anyway,
I hop.
Tom.
Get those pancakes.
Yeah. Tom, thank you so much for being on the show. Really appreciate you coming by. I hope you enjoyed the tea.
Thanks for having me. I did. It was good.
Great.
Who made it?
Nolan did. Down there in the studio. And all of you at home or work, maybe. Thank you very much. And until next time, this is Adam Papagan reminding you that there's a place you can go, and it's your mind. Good night.